Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Stan Lee statue. It's a little unfortunate that I'm making this video, as the reason being is because Stan Lee, of course, passed away very recently. And he had quite a massive impact on not only me, for obvious reasons, as he created quite a few of my favourite characters that have ever existed in cartoon, movie and comic book, but of course he would have influenced quite a lot of you as well through all of his creations, and it's quite sad that I'm making this due to the reasons that I am, but regardless, I hope that this serves as a nice little memorial for those of you that enjoyed his work. And again, I am quite sad that I'm making this video now rather than perhaps of having made it a little earlier, but regardless, rest in peace, Stan Lee. I'm sure that a lot of you were as touched by his works as I was, and I think that this is a nice way to immortalize him amongst many of the other ways that he would have been. So, without any further ado, why don't we get started on making the late great Stan Lee himself. So to make Stan, you will need all of these materials right here. Some of them are a bit weird. So we have black concrete, brown concrete, yellow terracotta, black terracotta, light grey terracotta, white terracotta, white concrete, grey concrete, and of course light grey concrete as well. To make Stan, you don't need too much room, so I'm not going to lay out a template, and when you're ready to build him, you want to start off with a row of 8 black concrete in a row on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stack another row of black on top, followed by a row of brown concrete. On top of this, place a row of yellow terracotta. On top of the next row, stack a brown, or better yet, a black terracotta on both the left and the right, and place yellow terracotta in between. I then want you to place a yellow terracotta on top of the black terracottas. Black terracotta next to those. Extend the black terracotta upwards by 1 row, and fill in everything in between using yellow terracotta. We're then going to place 3 solid rows of yellow terracotta directly on top of what we have built. Then, for the next row, going from left to right, place 2 black terracotta, followed by 4 yellow terracotta, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 black. Finish off the legs by placing an entire row of yellow terracotta, and then place 9 rows of light grey terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And build up all of these rows until they are equal in height to that very first row of 9. This will cover most of the jumper that Stan is wearing, which is why it is mostly a singular colour. Left to right on top of this row, I want you to place 3 light grey terracotta, 2 brown concrete, then 3 more light grey terracotta. For the next row, place yourself 2 light grey, 1, 2, a brown, 2 white, brown, and then 2 light grey terracotta. For the next row, place a light grey, brown concrete, white concrete, 2 white terracotta, a white concrete, a brown concrete, finished with a light grey terracotta. We're now going to make Stan's arms. We want to extend the top of the statue outwards by 4 using light grey terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to extend down by 8 by 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Every single one of those rows must be extended down equally. Underneath the last row, we're going to place an entire row of brown concrete, followed by 3 rows of white terracotta. These rows of white terracotta must all be the exact same, and they will come down as far as the bottom of Stanley's jumper / sweater. We want to repeat that on this opposite side. You can even start from the bottom if you like, with 1, 2, 3 rows of white terracotta. These rows are 4 rows wide, as are most Minecraft arms. And then on top of this, we can place either brown concrete, or you could even use black terracotta if you so wish. We then want to make the rest of the arm coming up as high as the rest of the torso light grey terracotta. And all of the rows of course want to be equal. If for some reason you run into trouble, just make sure it matches up with that opposite side there. Next, I want us to build the 3D portion of the body. I want to come all the way to the back of the statue, and I want to extend the back of the feet backwards by 3 rows using black concrete. 1, 2, 3. Like this. I then, for the most part, want to repeat what we have on the front. Begin by placing an entire row of black concrete on top of that back row, with a row of brown concrete on top. And then I'm going to suggest that you simply look forward at the front of your statue and copy what you have there, coming all the way up to the top of the legs. It shouldn't be that difficult. The front of the legs are only a few rows away, and they have a very small amount of detail in them anyway. Once you have got the black terracotta positioned correctly, you can then simply use yellow terracotta as filler, coming all the way up the back of the statue to Stan's waist. Beyond that, we can place rows of light grey terracotta that come all the way up to the top of the torso. There is no collar on the back of his shirt, as you might imagine, so that is why the entire back is blank. If you wanted to add something on the back of on the actual back of Stan's back, then perhaps you could if you liked, but there really wouldn't be much. The only thing is that we could perhaps add a little bit, if you liked, a little bit of brown concrete in relation to where the collar is on the front, but it's a small, unnecessary amount of detail. But you may add it if you like. We also have to make the arms. Again, I'm going to just suggest that you copy what you have on the front. His arms are identical on the back as they are the front. He's wearing pretty plain clothing, so there's no real reason to customize it beyond the fact that it's, you know, the same on the front. It's just like a sort of like plain sweater. There's no real reason to add stuff onto his hands and stuff that probably wouldn't be there anyway. And we want to have the same on the opposite side, whichever way round, whichever way down, up or down, left, right, whatever way you want to do it, it doesn't really matter as long as you end up with what you have on the front directly onto the back. There we go. So, once you have done that, we're going to come to the side of the statue, both sides. We're going to begin from the bottom. We're going to connect the brown concrete rows together at the bottom. Well, first the black, actually. I couldn't even see that because my screen's so dark. And then brown on top. You can do this on both sides. You see, once you have connected the shoes together, which is the black and the brown rows, you can simply add a couple of rows of yellow terracotta in between the legs on both sides if you like, or however you may like to do it, coming all the way up to the top of the waist here. And then we can place some white terracotta in the base of the hands as to connect them together. And then we simply join the white terracotta front to back like this, brown concrete where there's brown, and light grey terracotta where there is light grey terracotta, which is most of this. And then you can just fill in the shoulder area with your light grey, and we want to come to the opposite side and achieve the exact same thing. So all of the white terracotta and all of the brown concrete all wants to be joined together in the way that it is, and it will come across the top of the shoulder also. And once we have done that, we will end up with something that should look exactly like this. Now, once you have made Stan's body, we can come all the way up to the head. As we come to the top front of the statue, you're looking for this block right here, which is the left side of the original torso before we added the arm. It's the 5th block in. You can place a white terracotta and extend it to the opposite side of the torso, which would be there. Extend the white terracotta 2 rows towards you. Then we can begin adding detail. Starting on the left, add a white terracotta, followed by a grey concrete, 4 white concrete, a grey terracotta, and then a white, or a grey concrete I should say. And then left to right, we want to place 2 white terracotta, 4 grey concrete, and then 2 white terracotta, and there is his patented mustache, and a smile as well, he's always smiling. Left to right on top of this, we want to place 3 black terracotta, 2 white terracotta, and 3 black. On top of this, we're going to stack, on top of the terracottas, we want to stack another row of black terracotta. However, in between the middle, we want to place black concrete. Preemptively place white terracotta on top of the black, and place black concrete left and right of this stacked on top of the black terracotta. Once you have done that, we then want to place a row of white terracotta on top of all of this, extend the left and right side upwards, with grey concrete in between. Then we're going to rotate to the back of the statue and extend the original row of terracotta backwards by 5 rows using the white terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can extend all of those out of the back also. On top of this back row, we're going to start making his hair a little bit. On the left, we want to place a light grey concrete, followed by a grey, light grey, 2 grey, light grey, grey, light grey, like that. We want to extend all of these upwards. We want to extend them all upwards because all the way up as high as the front of the head, because it wouldn't make too much sense to change the height of the back of the head in relation to the front. It'd look a little bit weird. So make them all as high as the front of the face, and then we should be good in relation to the back of the head. Make sure they're even, and then on the left and right sides, we have to begin by extending Stan's glasses onto the side of his head. So you want to take the black concretes on the side of the head and you want to extend them back by 2, 1, 2, and then you want to place a black concrete coming back and down diagonally. Now, not only do you want to do that, however, but we want to, beginning in the corner of the face, the bottom corner of the face, we want to place 4 white terracotta coming back. 1, 2, 3, 4. On top of this, 3, 1, 2, 3. On top of this, 2, 1, 2. And finally on top of this, 1, to create what could be called a pyramid shape. We then, well, half of a pyramid at least, and then we want to extend the hair forwards. The hair follows a simple pattern. We have a light grey concrete here, we then want to have grey, followed by light grey, followed by grey, light grey, grey, finally light grey. And we want to extend all of these up as high as possible like this. And in doing this, that will be the side of Stan's head. Let's move over to the opposite side and do the same thing. We can even begin with the little pyramid if you like. We can start by placing 1, 2, 3, 4 white terracottas. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Black concrete on top. Left one. We can see there's a grey concrete underneath this, so you can place that, and then a black concrete there. And then all you would have to do is make the salt and pepper hair coming forwards like this. There we go. Then all we have to do is extend the grey concrete, light grey, and the double grey forwards towards the front of the head as he kind of had his hair like slicked back almost a little bit like this. And in doing this, we will have completed the statue just like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the great Stan Lee, immortalized in statue form, and he will forever sit in my current creative world. Before I cut off this video, I just want to once again say, rest in peace, Stan Lee. I really did appreciate all of the work that you did do throughout the years, not only as a person, but also creating some of the greatest characters that I really do enjoy myself, and I know that you guys do as well. I'll be leaving a link to my superhero playlist, which is mostly populated by his work, so if you wanted to make some more stuff related to Stan Lee, even just by proxy, then you may like to do that. But I'm going to close the video out here. I hope that this statue is a nice little memorial, and I'm going to leave it at that. Goodbye.